So I'm not a professional. I don't know how many tries it's going to take me to get this right. Trying to introduce a video. It's been sitting in the archives for over a year. I'm going to call this the River Scrape. This is a video from down in Massachusetts, public land. Something I want to share with you. I'm hoping that it's informative as well as entertaining. I know we all like to see bucks. You might be getting sick of hearing about politics and gun control. So let's just take a break from that for a few moments and watch the River Scrape. All right, well, it's Sunday, no hunting in Mass on Sunday. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go check the scrape cam. So I got about a 20-minute hike out to that camera. All right, I'm just walking through the sand pit. I can see where a buck came through, but it's not fresh. It's a few days old. This is definitely a buck. This is a good buck. Here's another deer that came across this track. Another decent deer. It wasn't until last year with the trail cameras that my eyes really got opened, and it's because I broadened my scope. You know, I was focusing on one particular area, which is actually where I shot my buck Friday. But last year I started to branch out and I came down here by the river, and that's when my eyes were really opened as to the potential for big bucks. Still not a lot of deer. Really have to work for them. You've got to work to get them on camera around here. A little bit, you know. But if you're willing to look for the sign, you can do it. It's not as easy as you might think. There's no guarantees. Now, I'd like to think that I'm starting to figure things out, but who knows, you know? I got lucky. I'd like to think that tomorrow morning I'm going to shoot another buck. That's what I got to believe. That's all the motivation. That's what the camera helps me. People say, oh, it's cheating. Well, to each their own. That buck Friday was the first buck I'd ever shot that I'd had pictures of on camera. The camera what it does for me is it helps me with a mental edge. And that's what this public land hunting, you know, to be successful consistently, you got to put in the work, you got to do your homework, you got to scout, then you got to put your time in. And how do you go about doing that? Well, the time is the key. And what allows you to do that, what separates, you know, the casual hunter that never gets anything to someone that does find success, is the mental edge. To be able to stay in the woods when other people would go home. That's really what it takes. And that's what the camera is helping me with. Now I know there's one out here. I'm gonna be in the woods. I'm gonna hunt hard for 6 days. I tell you what, I'm not gonna leave this week. You're not gonna look at me and say, hey, you didn't try. Last year I was walking up, and on a Sunday I was coming in to check the camera. Right up there, about as far as you can see, I was just tooling along, and there was a little buck right beside the trail. He ran right out in front of me. And then the next Sunday I was checking. Down a little further, I look, and there was that 6-pointer. I named him Curious George. He was staring at me. We had a stare down. The hardwood ridges are to my right, and the river and swamp is to my left. Just phenomenal habitat for white-tailed deer. There's so many places for them to hide, so many places that you would never want to hunt them. Thick swamp and woods. You have to hunt the fringes of it and catch them making a mistake. But some of these big boys never do make a mistake and die of old age. This is a type of area where you could have an 8 and 9-year-old buck slip through the cracks. One thing, and this probably goes without saying, but you know, I'm entering here now, leaving the trail. I've left the trail and I'm going down to check my trail camera. I do not touch limbs. So like right here, I'm not going to walk through that. I'm not going to touch this. Especially anything with my bare skin that's at deer nose level. So like this here, I step around this stuff. See, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch that. I've seen people walking through the woods, you know, scouting and whatnot, and picking everything up, touching things. Every time you do that, you're leaving your scent. And you don't know when a deer is going to come through. And they can smell that for a while. They're going to know, you know, if it's hours later, they'll know. But you've tipped them off to your presence. So try to avoid that as much as possible, you know. Now, let's see if the camera's still there. And yes, it is. There's the camera. This drives me crazy. I wish there's got to be a way. Maybe I got to read the instructions, but when I come to it, it starts filming, and I got to wait like a minute and a half, and it's like the longest minute and a half ever. Should be able to just push a button and get it to stop recording. That irritates me. What a beautiful, beautiful area this is now. I don't hunt down here. Did you see this river? I shouldn't give away all my spots. But there's this scrape. I peed in it. I didn't put anything, any buck urine or anything here. I've been peeing in it every time I come. This is a community scrape. There's a trail running along the edge of the river, and it's a nighttime river crossing. Over there they cross, and it's a trail they use at night. That's why I don't hunt down here. It's a great place to take inventory. I don't believe it's a great place to kill a buck. I got in there surgically. Now I'm getting out. I'm not touching anything, like I said. I haven't spoiled this area yet. You know, I come in here every week to 2 weeks to check the camera while I'm here. I have rubber boots on. I have short pants on, very short pants. Not that that makes a huge difference, but they're not dragging on the ground. We're gonna go around this. This is just retracing the steps in and out. The thing is, I try to follow the same route, because if you go a different way, like if I was to walk through there, then there's double the chance of you being detected, because you've made 2 scent trails going in. It's not a huge deal, but and some people might think, oh, you're being crazy, you know, you're overthinking it, but I don't think it is, especially when we're dealing with mature bucks. You got to be careful. You really do. It's not something that you go about willy-nilly. Okay, my ears are freezing. I've been sitting out here in the cold for 13 minutes waiting for you to finish the video. And if you made it this far, God bless you. Thanks for watching. Okay, I hope you pick something up, some information that'll help you. If you want to leave a comment, if you have some advice to give me, go for it. I'm not a pariah. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I don't think I'm the best and the greatest, you know, hunter around. So I'm always happy to take advice from people that have more experience than I do. So leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching, everyone.